Now, people who are watching this debate around the world here on CNN in more than 200 countries and territories. Clearly, this debate was an embarrassment for the United States of America, a clear embarrassment.
Because I think we need to just pause for a moment and say, that was crazy. What was that?
It was a train wreck, but it was a train wreck of the making of one person. I mean, we know who did it. President Trump did this.
Here, as somebody who's watched presidential debates for 40 years, as somebody who's moderated presidential debates, as someone who's prepared candidates for presidential debates, as someone who's covered presidential debates, that was the worst presidential debate I have ever seen in my life. A lot more heat than light over some 98 minutes. I want to go to the room right now. John Karl, you were there in the room. You cover the president. Your thoughts?
George, the debate was a total mess. It was a mess of interruptions, petty insults. I was in touch with some people on the floor who told me they were stunned by what they were seeing transpire on that stage. Donald Trump came across like a bully. There was an avalanche of untruth statements that came out. Joe Biden did not have a particularly steady performance. I could say, really honestly, it looked as if both men lost this debate. And in that sense, the real loser is Donald Trump. Because as we said at the start, Donald Trump was the one that needed to change the dynamic of this race. He is the one that is losing. He is the one that needed to change the trajectory. He is the one that needed a big win. And that did not happen tonight.
We had an avalanche of lying from President Trump.
I just think it's such a low moment in American presidential history.
What just happened in your view?
Well, I'm 80% sad and 20% mad as hell. It was a terrible thing to happen in our democracy.
Well, I think this was an embarrassment. If you were in a foreign country, you look at our United States right now, if you watch that and think this was an embarrassment, and if you're sitting in our country, it's embarrassing, and that embarrassment falls directly at the feet of Donald Trump.
Look, the whole thing was disgraceful. The whole thing was disgraceful.
I'm in touch with a lot of people in the military. One of them said to me tonight, this is the most shameful interaction between two leaders ever. I am sad and ashamed.
I mean, but this was such a hot mess. I've been watching debates, covering debates since 1976. I've never seen anything like this. I don't think any of us have. Compare it to any debate in presidential history. This was a disgrace, frankly.
Did it put anyone at peace about the future of our country in the immediate months and years to come and how we navigate our way out of this moment? We talked about President Trump. This was a unique opportunity for him to come in and say, here's what I will do over my next 4 years. I'm not sure we heard a lot of that tonight. But I do wonder if people will be frustrated at home, no matter how difficult it was on that stage and in those moments, that they didn't hear enough really from either about their specific plans of guiding this nation forward.